Bonaduce, life coach. Danny Bonaduce, life coach.
All righty, it is time for a Danny Bonaduce Life Coach. If you'd like to call, you most certainly can. It's 1-800-252-1025. Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorcer Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE. Let's talk to Sarah in Tacoma. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're all very well, thanks. So what's going on in your life?
So, my ex and I went through a custody battle about almost a year ago.
Okay, are you officially divorced from your ex?
We actually were never married.
Oh, okay.
They got really ugly in court for custody. So halfway through it, we decided to reconcile.
I still have questions there, Sarah. So you're having an ugly fight in court, and that's when it dawns on you, hey, I can't live another day without this guy. Maybe we should reconcile.
Well, we decided to reconcile for our son as well.
Can I offer that's a terrible idea?
Yeah.
All right, so why don't you ask your question, because I'm giving out advice before I've been fully asked. Why don't you tell me what your question is?
So my question is obviously we've decided to reconcile, and it's still just very bitter between us. We've tried to build the relationship back up, but it's just pointing fingers. I'm just wondering if we've tried to do counseling. I'm just wondering, am I just being a stupid woman thinking that we're going to be able to try to get over this?
Yes.
Or am I?
Okay. Well, I mean, that's not all I've got to say. I've got more to say. But yeah, my ex-wife, God love her, pointed that out. I think maybe it was her or Dr. Phil. I don't really know. I don't listen to either of them. But somebody said it's better to be from an angry household or a broken household. That's right. It's better to be from a broken household than to be in one. I don't think you're doing your kid any service by getting back together in a house where people are pointing the fingers. So what made you think did you really just think it would be best for, is it your son we're talking about?
Well, it's my son, and, we decided to try to work on each other, on ourselves, and also on the relationship. But in my opinion, I think that we are too badly damaged from the custody battle in order to try to move forward.
Well, then I think you're right. I think if you are not in a happy marriage, that you're not even in a marriage. If you've already been together, you've already fought over your child, there's just no reason to be in this. What made you think that this was a good idea?
Because, I do love him. And
Why did you decide to break up?
There was some definitely words that were, some verbal that I didn't like. So I put my foot down. And I continued to give him chance after chance. And I couldn't continue anymore.
Okay, I believe the old adage is fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. If you had to give him more than a couple of chances and you're back in this relationship and you're already having problems and you want out, you're not doing your son any favors. Here's the life coach's full-blown opinion. You need to extricate yourself from this right now and pay the right amount of attention to your son. And, you got to get him through school. Life is very difficult. He needs his mom. His dad seems to want him bad enough to fight for him. So everybody's kind of there. I think you need to extricate yourself and just do your best for your child and let your ex-boyfriend or whatever he is do the same exact thing. But no, you're not doing anybody any favors by getting back together. So it's off and take care of the kid. Good luck, son. Thank you very much for the call.
If you've got a question for Danny Bonaduce Life Coach, you should be dialing 800-252-1025. Call now. He can help you. You can also email lifecoach@KZOK.com.
Thanks.
Bob in Seattle sent an email. Danny, I have a 29-year-old son who has a problem with heroin and or pills. He seems to be in trouble with the law a lot. He has a 1.5-year-old child with a great girlfriend. I need him to shape up for the kid and the girlfriend. He has stolen from everyone around him, but denies it all. We're at our wits' end. I really need help with this matter. It's very depressing for my wife. We've tried everything. What do you suggest?
This kid, thank you very much for the email. I appreciate it. This kid is going to ruin all the relationships you have. I promise you. Right now, he's stealing from you. And you and the wife or whoever it is saying, can you believe little Bobby would steal for us to take care of his heroin habit? But then somebody's going to hide all their money away, and he's still going to get money, and they're going to say, if it weren't for your relationship with this guy, he would not be here. He would have not gotten my favorite bracelet. He would not have gotten my high school ring or whatever it is you got laying around that this kid's stealing. I think stupid as they seem, those interventions where everybody just sits down, because here's the thing, when you do an intervention, everybody sits around and tells you how I feel and how your drug abuse affected my life. It seems incredibly lame. The reason they work, in my opinion, when they do work, is because you've said so much, you've bolstered yourself to cut this person off from your life no matter what happens to them. You know, your kid's gonna go through some really ugly times, and you need to not be there. The way you can be there for your kid is to not be there, not give him $5 extra, not give him a place to stay. You need to make life really hard right now until he realizes, hey, my dad loves me, my family loves me, my girlfriend loves me. Life is only good when I pay my fair share, when I come home on time, everybody knows where I am, and hey, I'm not shooting heroin between my toes. So you have to shut it down for now and love him. You know, give him tough love right now, and then open your arms when he's off heroin. But everybody has to shut off their avenues to giving this kid anything. Good luck, and I appreciate the email.
800-252-1025. That's the number to call for Danny Bonaduce, life coach. Any kind of problem, he can help you get through it. Jean in Seattle, you're on with Danny.
Hi, Jean.
Hi, Danny. My name's Jean, and I'm having some issues with my children. I have 2 daughters that have stopped having anything to do with me and my husband. I had an affair a couple of years ago, and now, ever since my oldest daughter has found out that I had an affair, she's basically taken my grandkid away from me and my husband, and my other daughter has basically taken my grandkids away from us too, and has basically just taken us out of their life, and I don't know how to deal with this.
Well, I'll tell you how I believe you can deal with it in just 1 second. How old are these 2 girls?
One's 35 and the other one's 33.
Wow, to be honest with you, I'm surprised that they are of that age when they're acting in such an immature fashion. If anybody should know, hey, these kind of things happen, it should be, you know, anybody in the ballpark of your daughter's age and circumstances. You know, they're in their 30s, they've got kids. Stuff happens. I hate to admit it and make it sound trivial like that, but you know what? It's not the do-all, end-all. It's bad. I'm sure you said you're sorry, but here's what I think is going to happen, Gene, in Seattle. I think they will outgrow their ignorance and go, hey, Mom made a mistake. She didn't set the house on fire. She didn't leave me in a hot car outside the mall. This is not the worst mistake ever. You know, you should absolutely talk about it. Tell her how sorry. I'm sure you have. But here's the good news on this. Everybody's going to need grandma soon enough. Wait it out. Take any shot you can to tell them how much you love them. Take any shot you can, if it's not bringing us old wounds, to tell them how sorry you are. But go ahead and mention stuff when they're available to you. But here's what's going to happen. Next week, next year, and not that far in the future, and I think you know this, they're going to need grandma, and only grandma can help. And I've said this about a couple other things in my life, and I have always been right. There's going to come a day very soon where it's Thanksgiving and they miss grandma's stuffing, or it's going to become a life and death of a decision that needs to be made, and only grandma can make it. But I promise you, Gene, you know, you made a mistake, you're sorry, okay, fun, I'm good with you now, I've made amends with you. They're going to need grandma really soon, and they're going to come to you. And when they do, don't punish anybody. When they come crying to you, and they will, don't say, I told you so. Let them take care of that baby. Take care of whatever you need to do to be grandma. They're going to need you soon enough, and they're going to come running. So here's the answer. How do I get them back? Wait your turn. They'll be there in a minute. Thanks, Gene. I appreciate it.
If you've got a question for the life coach, 800-252-1025 or email lifecoach@KZOK.com. Robert in Seattle sent an email. I recently moved to Seattle, and I'm experiencing firsthand what I've heard called the Seattle chill. I consider myself a fairly outgoing person, but I have trouble making friends. I spend a lot of time alone at home in my apartment, and I worry the isolation is becoming an issue. How do you suggest I get out, meet people, and thaw the Seattle chill?
Well, first of all, the Seattle chill is a real thing. People mention it's a real thing, but I'll tell you, it's not that we're mean, and not that we're standoffish. We're just overwhelmingly super polite. Nobody's going to come up to you because people here do not come up to strangers and get involved in your life. But I will tell you this: that there's so nobody doesn't like you. Everybody likes you just fine. That's the way Seattle goes out here. It's a passive aggressive town. And that's for real, man. I don't dislike anybody except bicyclists. But it's just, the answer to your question is in your question. I got to get out and meet people. You will, and I will. I almost never do this. Let me bring in another doctor, if you will. Hey, Gibbons, you there, buddy?
Yeah, what's up?
How you doing, man?
I'm well.
Aren't you on a softball team?
I'm on a softball team. I got kicked off my kickball team, but yeah, I'm on a softball team.
What other teams? What other things do you do with people that you... And by the way, Gibbons is the newest guy here. What else do you do?
I do everything, man. The thing is, you just go out to a bar, you shake hands, and you just meet people. You just go say hello. Hey, can I buy you a drink? What's up?
And you're a proven fact that we're really polite and stuff. We're just not going to approach you first.
No, you have to go up to somebody. But once you go up and engage somebody, they're totally open and totally cool.
So the answer is, my friend, engage, and it'll be just fine. And I appreciate your email.
Jim and Everett, you're on with Danny Bonaduce, life coach.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Hey, not much. We're about to do an intervention tomorrow with my mother-in-law, and it consists of her sister, which would be my wife's aunt, who has taken my mother-in-law from the family. My mother-in-law got ill about a year ago with a rare brain condition called Hashimoto's encephalitis, and it affects her memory and her actions. And what has happened is the aunt, her sister, has turned her against the entire family. We basically have a moving pod showing up, and we have an attorney with a demand letter. But my question to you is, how do I handle
what drama at Jim's house, huh? I got a lawyer and a U-Haul. I am ready to go. All right, Jim, I love you, man. What else is happening?
Well, my question to you was how should I deal with Mom, and how should I introduce my daughter back to her, because she's been turned completely against my wife, and I just kind of want to know how I should approach her with this, because she's going to be all for her sister, and she's going to be wondering why we're throwing her sister out of the house and moving her back to San Diego.
And you're all legally right to do this, right? Because these are grown-ups you're talking about. When you talk about we're kicking somebody else and making them cross state lines, that's not easy. How is it that you have the legal right to do any of that?
Well, what's happened is that she's never paid rent there. She's lived there for 10 years. She's basically a freeloader, and she's real hard on my father-in-law and her marriage. So my father-in-law's behind this. He says he's had enough. She's going to visit her daughter in San Diego, and
there you go.
We're going to ship her stuff right behind her.
That is the key, okay? Because you were getting into some really weird water. You know how sometimes when I'm saying, call now, whatever your problem is, I've had this happen. Believe it or not, I've had this happen. And I thought, you can't just take this woman out of her house. Even though she's never paid rent, she doesn't have a lease, you can't do it. So here's the answer, my friend. She's going to San Diego, you said? Send the stuff. You're a genius, man. Send her stuff right after. But here's the thing. Change every lock in that house. Okay? The second she gets back in, she has rights. She has rights right now that I'll bet you're not real sure about. So you talk to your lawyer. And that's why I'm saying you got to get her out. And you got to change, if you change those locks, the second she tries to get back in, and she will, if she does, you can call the cops then, and if she gets in, breaking and entering, and do it all right away. It sounds mean, but if you let her sit in that house for 5 minutes, she belongs there. And as Sarah knows, she's smiling at me right now, I've had this happen. I had a guy in my house. I'm going, get out of my house. This is my house. He goes, nope, I have a legal right. I called the cops, and they said he's right. He had a legal right to be a bum on my couch, and I didn't even know who the hell he was. So you did the right thing. Send her stuff, change the locks, and then follow your lawyer's advice on this. And if she comes back, give her any kind of writ, and save everything. You need a paper trail on this, because I don't know how much trouble she's going to be, and you're the winner here in the long run, Jim. You're doing all the right moves, but you need to save your paper trail that you evicted her, you sent her this note, you sent her stuff, I have a receipt for it, and then you'll be just fine. Good luck for you there, and thank you very much for the call. That's all the time we have for Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach. Ooh, I got all excited. Remind me of that guy on my couch. I'm out of control on this. That's all the time we have for Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach. Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones, a divorce event. Call 1-800-DIVORCE.